All right, folks, so I'm down on a new job down here at this Beaver slough, and they're having a problem with beaver down here, so we're gonna get them taken care of. I come down here yesterday with Tim O'Brien and put a couple sets in. I think his YouTube channel is Cotton Top 3, but I put a couple sets in yesterday. I put a drowning set in up there and a long chain set in right there, and then there's another not so active slide right there that I put a 330 on one side and a long chain, a foothold with a long chain on the other. I wound up changing that this morning because I went back here and I found the main dam, and they've got another little dam right up here that I'm gonna put a dam break in, and it's not a super huge dam, but they are repairing it every night because I've done broke it the past 2 days in a row, and they've repaired it. But I wound up just putting some 330s in on this crossover right here because I thought it was more active than what it is, and they're still using it, but they're not using it every single night. So I'm just gonna guard it with those 330s. There's a run out here back behind me that they're going, I guess, to get to the back of this slough back here, and I'm gonna take a 330 and stick it on an H stand and stick it out there. And then there's some runs out back here going from the other pond that's back here, or slough, whatever you want to call it, that they flooded up, and coming up here to this big dam, this little dam. So I'm gonna put a dam break set in back there on that, and then I'm gonna set one or two of those runs on that and see if I can catch anything. But right here, I'm gonna put a caster mound set on a long chain. It ain't super deep right here, so that's one reason why I'm long chaining it. And I don't want to put a 330 in because in situations like this, I really don't like guarding caster mounds with 330s. So I'm gonna come out here and stake this in out here. Like that right there. And I'm gonna take my rake and I'm gonna kind of pull some of this down right here. It ain't rocket science. Pull some of that down right there. Make me a little bit of a bed. Like that right there. Then come out here and get some of this mud. Like that, throw that up on the bank. Maybe take some of this grass, mix it up in there with it. Throw that up on the bank. Reach in here and grab my lure. And the main reason I changed these sets that I put in yesterday with Tim, he was out here because he's got some beaver problem on his property, and he kind of wanted to get a little bit more info and kind of just go with me as I was setting and just kind of see how I did things. And but anyways, the main reason I changed these sets up right here is because I found that dam in the back. So I know they're more active back there. They're coming up here when I break this dam and fixing it, but they're not. They were crossing over this crossover right here to plug this box culvert up, but the water's done got level on both sides, so there's no more water flowing through that, so they're not working on that anymore. So that's why I decided to pull that drowning set out and that long chain out up there and just put 330s on it. But this is some of Bob Wilson's green lure. I always have pretty good luck with it. Then you just take your trap. I've already got it set, and I'm gonna come back probably about about 18 inches, about to your elbow, from the tips of your fingers to your elbow. Because on these long chains, I like going for a hind foot catch, because I don't want them to get out here and start rolling around. Even with this offset on this 650, if they get rolling around and stuff like that, sometimes you can have them twist out, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just gonna come back here, set this like that, kind of twist it, lock it down in there. That's about 18 inches from there to the pan. And that's about it. Ain't too complicated. Come up here and slick this up just a little bit with my foot. Splash a little water on it. Make it look like another beaver's been up here working. Like that. And that's about it. We're gonna get on to the next set. All right, so what I've got right here, I thought my camera was recording, but it wasn't, so I didn't get me putting the set in. But I've got a 650, a Duke 650, sitting probably 14 inches or so back from the face of this dam break. And I've got it bedded. I've got a drowning rod in here, and I've got my lock cheated down the, come on now. I've got my lock cheated down the rod, and I've got this, I didn't put that big of a break in here because this water drops super quick. And I've got that trap set for a front foot catch. On drowning sets, you want to go for a front foot catch, keep that nose below the water. And if you got like a long chain or something like that, you want to go for a back foot. That way they're not sitting there twisting and possibly break those two bones right there and then twist out, because a beaver will twist like an alligator will. But anyways, what I'm trying to set up here is because these beaver have already been, here comes the rain again. These beaver have already been trapped before by somebody that half-heartedly done it. So I'm either trying to drown the beavers and get them out of sight, or I'm putting them on long chains and keeping them alive. Because if you get beavers that start seeing all their buddies dying, they'll start getting skittish and they'll go den up. And then I don't know where the den's at out here. It could be back up in here, and it could be back up in here. I don't know. It's so flooded that I can't get around to find out where the den's at. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to set the areas that I can get to. I've got 330s set on that crossover right there, which would, if I catch a beaver in that, it's going to be a dead beaver sitting there. But I don't think they're using that as often anymore because this water level has done got even on both sides, so it's not coming through that pipe and they're not plugging that pipe up anymore. But anyways, that's all I'm gonna do on this dam right here. I'm gonna go back over here, and I'm gonna take a 330 and set it in that run back there. And then I'm probably gonna go back here and I'm gonna set this big dam, and I'm gonna set one or two of these runs coming up towards this dam right here. We're gonna get on to the next one. All right, I don't know how well y'all are gonna be able to hear me with the wind blowing and the rain's moving back in, but there's a run right out here. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, where there's beaver coming back and forth through here. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a 330 on this H stand, and I'm just gonna set dead center of that run, see if we can get anything in it. You can't catch it if you ain't got it set. You see how deep that run is? This is me standing down in the run. This is me up out of the run. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down right in here where it's kind of a pinch point where this grass starts. And I'm gonna take my 330, and on this I'm gonna set trigger on the bottom. When I'm setting these H stands, I like to set the triggers on the bottom. But anyways, trying to hurry up and get this done before the rain sets in back on me. I'm already soaking wet. Been wet all day. like that right there. And I'm gonna take my cable, run it through one of the legs on this H stand. I hope y'all can hear me with that wind. Like this right here, find the center of the run. Make sure my cable's out of the way. Then I'm gonna set my 330 right here, push it down. Like that right there, pull my locks off. Get them out of the way. Take my springs, push them down, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of this grass, if I can get any of it out. This will work right here. And just kind of stick it down right in here, just to encourage the beaver to go through my 330 instead of getting up out of the run, which it shouldn't get up out of the run. But anyways, that's all I'm gonna do on that. Ain't nothing fancy. The beaver, the critter, beaver, coon, cow, whatever you're trapping, it'll tell you what to do. You just gotta look at the sign, it'll tell you what to do. Whew, it got deep right there. But I'm gonna get on and get another set made. Alright, so I'm back here on one of these runs. I got this pole right here because I marked the center of the run. I'm gonna make sure I don't fall off past my hip waders. There's a curb right up here, and you don't want to set in them curves. Find that center of that run with my feet. You don't want to set in them curves. Man, this rain's killing me. Because you want that beaver coming straight on. Straight on. I'm just going to take this 330 on another H stand, set it in the center of this run. I was going to try and get back there to that dam, but I don't think I'm going to make it before the bottom falls out of this thing. And to be honest with you, I ain't trying to get no more wet than what I already am. This is a fairly complex job I'm doing right here. Just because these beaver, they're covering so much territory. And they've already been trapped, and the guy that trapped them, I don't think he did a very good job according to the landowner. He wasn't satisfied with him, so. He got a hold of the old neck slapper, and we're gonna get some taken out for him. The same thing I did on that run out yonder. I'm gonna set these triggers upside down. Stick it on that H stand like that. Move my cable over here. And then I'm gonna find the center of this run with my feet. That'd be right there. I'm gonna run this 330 all the way to the bottom of the run. All the way to the bottom. Set my springs. Take my safeties off, get them out of the way. Then I'm gonna come in here. You ain't really gotta do this. You ain't gotta really put a dive stick if it's an active run. But these beaver are a little confusing. So what I'm gonna do is come down in the eyelet on my spring like that right there. And I don't advise you to stick your hand down in murky water where you've got a 330 set. But I got these sunglasses on so I can see where it's at. But I'm just gonna do that right there, and we're gonna let her eat. But like I say, I was gonna try and get to that dam back there, but it's about another 300-400 yards of hard walking to get there. So I think I'm just gonna see what these do tonight. And I might come in here tomorrow and set a couple caster mounds on this channel that they're using coming up out of this slough back here. And then get back there and set that down. And I brought this drowning rod with me because I was gonna try and get back there, but I don't think I'm gonna get back there before the bottom falls out of this rain. But anyways,